slightly mad. I'm going slightly mad.
Hello, Aloysius. Hello, everybody. What have you got for me today? What are we going to talk about with the people today? About you got your book published. Yay! How many is this now, Aloysius? 4. And you thought that it would be nice to talk to the people about what to expect and how to get published. That's a really good idea, Aloysius, because it's the beginning of the year and that would be a great way to start the year, talking about the process of getting published and how to get published and what to expect. Absolutely excellent idea, Aloysius. Now, we need to do our shop first. Okay, so before we get to that, if you would like to support our shop, on either side of me, you can see our books, our Redbubble merch. There are links to both of these down below. We have so many things now, there's no way I can hold them up. Not enough hands, not enough time. So if you see something you like, come along, have a look. Everything that you see is for sale and much, much more to help you with your writing this year. Okay, Aloysius, so you got a book published. Yay! I bet you feel really happy. Yes. So, Aloysius, were you using the same publisher you've used before? Like, did they pick the book up? No, it was actually a different publisher because I decided to write in a different genre. Oh, okay. So your publisher was a specialty horror genre publisher, right? And so because you were writing sort of horror with a sci-fi edge, and it was more on the sci-fi sort of thing, so it didn't really suit them because they specialize more in the traditional gothic horror type of thing. Right. Okay, so you went and found yourself another publisher. Yes. And was that hard? Yes. Even though you had 3 other books published? Yes. Why was it hard? Why was it not as easy as just walk in the door? Because I'd never published anything in that genre before. Because you'd never published anything in that genre before, and you had a name in one genre and not in another. Yes, exactly. Okay, so when it came to picking a new publisher, how did you go about it? Do you have an agent? No, you don't have an agent. Okay. Do you have to have an agent? No, you don't have to have an agent. Depends on the kind of publishing house you're looking at. So, no, you did it because you look at small specialty publishers. Yeah, small specialty publishers are probably there's no hard and fast, but you are more likely to get in without an agent simply because they have a niche that they are looking at. They're, probably fly a bit under the radar, like Black Cockie Press. Yeah, like Black Cockie Press, you don't need an agent to get into Black Cockie Press. You just go to the website and follow the submission guidelines. Remembering our submissions are open all year, but this year we are replying to submissions in the 4th quarter. So you can submit at any time, but you will not hear back until the 4th quarter of the year, so between October and end of December. Yes. And why, Aloysius, is it important to listen and follow precisely the publisher's guidelines? Because those are the rules that they're setting. Yeah, those are the rules that they're setting. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, the person who foots the bill has the final say on things. So if they're saying the only time that we look at the manuscripts is in this period, or the only time we accept manuscripts is in this period, then, that's something you need to be aware of, because they will not necessarily look at what you're working on if you give them something outside of that period. Will they? No. And if you have submitted to something that says, okay, we look at it at this time of the year, does that mean you can just go off and submit to a whole load of other people? No. No. If they say we're looking at stuff at this time of the year, and then they look at it and like it, and you've already submitted it elsewhere, the polite thing to do would be to let that person know and withdraw that submission before they get to that point in the year. Send them another email and just withdraw the submission. Do not leave them reading your manuscript, asking you to send it, and then have you say, oh, I've already got it somewhere else. It's just plain courtesy. And that's a big thing, isn't it, Aloysius? Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Courtesy is really important. Now, is there any way that you can help your submission get further? Well, I researched the publishers. Yep. Researching the publishers that you are interested in is a really good way to help it get forward, because I write very specific things, and there was no point in me sending it to publishers who are not interested in that. Okay, that's a really important thing. Black Cockie Press, for instance, publishes Australian writers. So if you're not Australian, unfortunately, you are probably not going to get a look in, purely because it is a small publisher. And small publishers do this. They have a niche. They have one thing that they look for. Black Cockie Press looks for, the niche is Australian writers. It's not a genre niche, but it is a geographical niche. So that is something you need to pay particular care to when you are submitting to a publisher, because some places only publish romance, some places only publish picture books, some places only publish children's books. There's no point sending your literary erotica to a children's book publisher, even if you followed all their guidelines, because you didn't follow the really big guideline, did you? No. Now, Aloysius, how else can we maximize our chances of being published? Well, you can see if they have an opportunity to make a query call before you publish or before you submit. Yes, query call. Really useful. You can book a query call. So send, or you can call. But if you want to book a query call by putting in a application, it's on the website. It's in the shop. It's a free thing, but you have to go through the shop because it needs to go into our calendar. You submit your phone number, what you're wanting to have your query call about, and we just ring you up at the particular time and have a chat with you. Or just call. Maybe busy. The query call is a way of definitely getting the conversation that you want to have. If the publisher is busy, they may not be interested in having a chat with you. But especially if they've got an opportunity to contact, to send an email, to introduce yourself, to say, hey, this is who I am. Are you interested in this before I send it? These are my, so that you and them understand this is what I'm looking for. Because it gets very, very easy to just get swept away with somebody said yes, doesn't it? Yes. It gets very easy to get swept away with that. But what you are creating is a commercial relationship. And like any relationship, you want to make sure it's a good relationship. You do not want to be having a contractual relationship with someone who you can't work with. That's important. Yes, that's important. That's really important. How else could I just work out how to work with someone? especially if they were coming to Black Cockie Press. How could I work out if I really wanted to work with that person? You could follow them on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. You could sign up to the newsletter. Sign up to the newsletter. You could watch our YouTube videos. Watch the YouTube videos. You could book mentoring sessions. Yes. Especially if you're not certain. If you've got writing questions, very specific writing questions, things that you would like to work through, if you're not really certain whether you are at the right point to write, but you would like to start developing a relationship with a potential publisher. Now, not everyone offers this. This is a particular thing that Black Cockie Press offers because of the nature of the skill set. Because Black Cockie Press is owned by someone, our alter ego, with a background in teaching, which most publishers do not have. No. Means that Black Cockie Press is interested in working with you in that way. A mentoring session does not bind you, or mentoring sessions do not bind you to publishing with Black Cockie Press, nor does a reader's report bind you to publishing with Black Cockie Press. Okay? But if you've got a manuscript and you're not sure where it is, in terms of, is this nearly done? Is this nowhere near done? I know I've got some problems, and everyone, I have never seen a writer who is serious about their work who does not know that they have some flaws in their manuscript. And often, because we are human, we do try to pretend that they don't exist because we would like it to be perfect and we've put so much work into it. But often, if you get a reader's report, yes, which if you do mentoring with us, you get a discount on the reader's report. If you've had a reader's report with us, you get a discount on the reader's report. Okay? So, it's worth it. What does a reader's report do? It lets you know if your book is ready to be published. Yes. It lets you know if your book is ready to be published or if it needs more work. Okay? And not only will it let you know if it needs more work, it's where you need to put the work in. And if the work that you are putting in is a skill that you lack or you don't feel confident in, if that's an area, then that's what the mentoring helps with. So between those things, what do you end up having? A close working relationship. A close working relationship. And what's more, you as the writer learn what what Black Cockie Press is like as a business to work with. And from our side, we learn, are you somebody who we can work with? Are you somebody who will listen to advice? Because when it's a non-contractual relationship, that means it can be easily terminated. If we sign, yes, a writer, yes, who doesn't play nicely with the others, who doesn't listen, and who will fight everything, that's a problem. That's a problem. That becomes a breakdown in that working relationship. So having that early contact where both parties understand how this is going to work is really important. And that's part of the reason we offer it. Aloysius, have readers' reports led to books being published? Yes. Did those books get published because the authors and Black Cockie Press knew that they could work well together? Yes. Were they good books? Yes. 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 readers' reports can offer you a shortcut to getting published. So, is it a guarantee? No, it's not a guarantee. But, now, readers' reports and mentoring is open to people outside of Australia. You're just going to have to deal with our crazy time zones. Publication is available to people within Australia simply because of our geographical niche. So you can actually work with me and then take what we've worked on to another publisher. That's fine. That's something we can do. You know, so a reader's report is something that is valuable for you. One of the things that people do, I've noticed, is without a reader's report to help. It's not essential, but it's really, really useful. Is people will work a manuscript and work a manuscript and work a manuscript, and they will work on the things that they're good at, but while continuing to neglect the things that they're bad at. And what a reader's report allows you to do, which is part of the reason why this is so important, is show you these are the bits you need to work on. Stop working on this. This works. Don't change this. Fix these things. These are the things that as a reader are stopping me enjoying it. These are the things I like. But the number of people I have seen who have overworked the things that you like to the point that they become stale or cease working and continue to neglect the things that don't work is staggering. Yes, it's because we like to do the things that we like to do, and being open to criticism is quite difficult. And ego likes to bury its head in the sand and pretend that there are no problems. It's just being human. Now, when you get a contract, yes, and you sign a contract, yes, can the publisher ask you to rewrite things? Yes. Yeah. Chances are the publisher is going to talk to you about what needs changing before you sign the contract. Okay? They're going to have a look at it. They're going to have looked at your manuscript. They're going to have decided yes or no. But once you've signed that contract, the manuscript isn't your baby anymore. It is a commercial product. And this is one of the things that I think a lot of writers have a hard time dealing with, is publishing is now, you are now engaged in a commercial engagement. And the person who foots the bill is the person who has the final say. You are not in a position where you're going to be powerful enough, and that kind of power is not always good, is it? No. There is a certain now deceased Australian author who is immensely popular, but rumour has it that they refused to be edited. Yes, I've heard that too. Yeah. And what happened to the quality of their books? They went down. They went very far down, didn't they, Aloysius? Yes. You as a newbie author, you have to do as you're told. I'm sorry, but it's how it works. So if they say this needs rewriting, we love your book, but we need this changed, this changed, this changed, and this changed. They're doing that not to pick on you, and not because they don't love your book. They're doing it to make your book commercially viable. Books have to have a certain ease of reading, flow. Editing is not proofreading. Editing is not proofreading. Editing is not proofreading. Editing is getting a book to a standard that is publishable. Do you know why self-published books sell about 12 copies on average? Because they're generally not edited. Yeah, they're generally not edited. And they're often put out at the wrong point in their cycle. Yeah, and they're often, they're unedited drafts. Someone proofread it. That's it. That's all that happened. They got proofread. And they sell 12 copies to their friends and family who grit their teeth way through it, and then it doesn't sell because people have picked it up and they've read the first little bit on the free sample, and it doesn't read like a real book. It doesn't read like a real book, and they're not going to spend the money on it. Yeah. Yeah, we read one like that, didn't we? You mean the vampire? Yeah, the vampire one, the vampire and the silent movie star. Yeah. Did it read right? Oh, really? No. And it's that. Like, why did we read that? Because we're masochistic. Okay, yeah, we read it because we're masochistic, I think. Did we return it? No, we let the author have the money. Yeah, we let the author have the money. We didn't return it. We didn't do that to them, but it was not quite right. Didn't quite work. That's the difference between an edited book published by a publishing house and a self-published book. Even if it's really, really good, yes, it doesn't necessarily read the same way. Now, self-publishing, if you have gone to the bother of paying for all of these things, and they get very expensive. What did we average out for the cost of a book for the whole lot in the just the labor costs for us? Yes, and we're a really tiny publishing house. Okay, $10,000. Okay, so if you are interested in self-publishing a book, that's about the budget you need to self-publish a book. Is there a guarantee that you'll get your $10,000 back? No. No. Is there a guarantee we get our $10,000 worth of labour back? No. No. It's a gamble. It is a gamble. But do we have a better chance than somebody who has done none of the things that we do? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Of course we have a better chance than that because it is a professional book. Now, because it costs so much to produce a book, as a newbie author with no selling track history, you're going to be given, here are the changes that need to be made. You're going to be given, here is the cover that is going to be going on the book. You're going to be told, here is the social media that we need you to do. Are you going to follow us? Yes, you're going to follow us religiously. We're going to give you marketing materials, which we produce, yes. We are going to give you instructions on how to market. Okay? So and you are going to do these things. Any publisher is going to do this. You are now a representative of your publisher. So they are going to have a great deal of control over what you say, how you say it, and if you say something really stupid online, you're going to get an angry phone call from your publisher. Okay? You are now in a commercial arrangement, which is why you want to do your prep work first. You want to find out about the publisher. You want to find out whether or not you're likely to have a good working relationship with that publisher. You're going to want to do your research thoroughly because it's not a magic ticket. It is a working relationship. You need to know what to expect. You need to ask questions. You need to discuss this because you are now a product, or your book is a product, and you are now in a commercial relationship. So if you think that the work's over once you're publishing? To a certain degree. What are you, now that your book's coming out and after you finish with the marketing stuff that your publisher wants you to do, what are you going to do? Start another book. Start another book. That's what you're going to do. You're going to start another book and start the process over again. And that is how, ultimately, you build a career in writing. You are going to produce it, engage in that way. Hopefully, if you are working with a publisher who likes your work, who you have a good working relationship with, will continue to work with you. But there is no guarantee. Even mid-selling authors can lose their publisher like that. Big publisher, big, what I would consider huge sales. Sales of a size that I would consider massive. If you have a big enough publisher, they can drop you if it doesn't seem to be working. What's the advantage of a big publisher? Well, they've got a big reach. Is it personalized? No. Do they take risks with unknown authors? Rarely. Will they work with you one-to-one to really build a book up? Less so now. A lot less so. Generally, they're looking for big names, things that they know they can sell, even if they're not great. What about a small one? A small one is going to do that. A small one will work with an author to get a book up to spec. So there are advantages. You don't have the reach. You are going to have to do a lot of marketing working with a small publisher. But then again, the small publisher does a lot of their own marketing too. So it's not like they're asking you to do something they're not doing. But it is a different sort of relationship. So if you're looking at a small publisher, yes, and a lot of people do, it has its advantages. Small publishers are likely not to give you an advance. They're not going to be doing some of those big things that big publishers do. But there are advantages, especially if you are starting out with small publishing, which is what we are. Australian and generally first-time published authors. So if you are interested in publishing this year, come across to our website, check us out. And remember to like and subscribe and engage with us in all our formats, because that will help you decide if we are the right fit for you. Is that everything, Aloysius? Yes. Der Wolkerfinger, ich bin ja Jesus mit Bye-bye! If you would like to support this channel, come across to the Black Cockie Press website, www.blackcockiepress.com.au, where you will find books and other writing services to help with your writing.